Hey guys, welcome back. Strip Coach here, where we sweep and operate with integrity and transparency. Today we got a quick market cap update. Not market cap, market cap. Yeah. It comes from a post from Raoul Pal. As this video is about a week ago, but it still holds some weight because the markets are still kind of flashing fear. And what I've realized is that the fear really comes from, and I can only speak for myself, especially from the shitstorm that I got myself into last cycle. The fear is based on your own personal, emotional resonance that's based on what assets you're holding and how the market is performing relative to those assets. So when you're in assets that are shitting the bed, then you're more fearful. When you're in assets that are going up, then I guess X is the opposite side of that. But I would just say excited, happy, content, whatever. And I realize that now I definitely don't share this same sentiment because my portfolio is up and I've gotten out of all of the shitty stuff from last cycle. I'm still holding alts, as I showed you guys. I still have BNB, still buying not SRP, Solana, still has some Doge, Cardano, a couple others, OKB. But I don't actually swing with this because from where I acquired these tokens, I'm still up. So even when Bitcoin crashed back down to earlier this month, it was like 99, kind of 99. I'm still up because my Bitcoin average price that I purchased at is like 60, 70K. So I don't care. Same thing with BNB, was average was like 500 to 600. And my Doge I just started buying, but Cardano, I showed you guys the post on that. That was in the 30s. So everything for me is at least up 2x. So whenever I see this, like I don't really care. And that's just kind of my epiphany. And what Raoul Pal is saying here that I'm going to read you guys is that when you have the don't fuck this up these in the assets that are most tightly correlated to liquidity, you have a long enough time horizon, then you're not affected by the day-to-day or week-to-week noise. Just so much easier to tune all that other stuff out. So let's begin. All right. From the Raoul Pal Twitter account, directly from Raoul. I know no one wants to hear bullish ideas and everyone is scared and wants to fling poo at each other. But the road to Valhalla is getting very close. If global liquidity is the single most dominant macro factor, then we must focus on that. And remember, he said that Bitcoin is 90% correlated to global liquidity, and like the S&P is 97 or 95. That's pretty damn tightly correlated. Remember, the only game in town is rolling, 10 trillion in debt. Everything else is a sideshow. This is the game of the next 12 months. And I went ahead and did an AI analysis on this. I don't have it up right now, but basically, yeah, the debts mature around the end of 2026 and in 2027. And most central banks typically roll things forward by 12 to 18 months. Like they try to get ahead of it. They don't want to refinance and at the very end when it's coming due, just in case the shit hits the out. So that's why this is basically, like you said, the next 12 months. So by the end of next year, all that debt something has to be done with it. They can't pay it. And the other two options are default, which would make Bitcoin go up tremendously, or kick the can down the road, which makes Bitcoin go up tremendously, but slower, right? So like that is the only game in town, like you said. Currently, the government shutdown has forced a sharp tightening of liquidity as the TGA builds up with nowhere to spend it. And quick Google search, we have the balance of the TGA account is almost at $1 trillion. That is insane. And this is November 10th, and the government shutdown is still going on. So as this continues to build up, when this government shutdown opens back up, You could think of this as the government, US government checking account. Right now, they got all this money and nowhere to spend it because they're shut down. They go on a spending spree the minute that the gates open up and the shutdown is removed. This is not offset by the ability to drain the reverse repo. It is drained, and QT drains it further. So we're still in quantitative tightening. There's speculation that we'll do QE, but nobody really knows. But even if we don't go into QE, quantitative easing, there's still tons of money that will be released. And on top of that, you have Trump recently tweeting out about stimulus checks. Again, this was something that Jack Mallers mentioned, that they want to get reelected, and the only way to get reelected is to give people money, basically. Run the economy hot and devalue your time and energy by debasing the debt or the dollar. This is hitting markets, and in particular crypto, which is the most liquidity driven. TradFi asset managers have one of their worst years of performance versus benchmark and are now having to chase markets. That is allowing tech to be more stable than crypto. 401k flows help too. If this liquidity drain keeps going longer, stocks will get hit hard too. However, as soon as the government shutdown ends, the Treasury begins spending $250 billion in a couple of months. QT ends, and the balance sheet technically expands. That's what everybody's waiting on, and we know that is coming. And again, we know that rates will drop as well. I just saw a recent post about rates being dropped by 50 basis points in December. And then we have the Fed chair being removed next May. You have, again, stimulus checks being pumped into the economy around the same time. It's like, come on. Everybody knows, like, this, we may not see the 200K, even 150K Bitcoin by the end of this year, but it can rip your face off in just a matter of months. So just keep that in mind. The dollar will likely begin to weaken as liquidity begins to flow. Tariff negotiations will have largely been completed, removing uncertainty. This is the big thing with China. That's still the last one being negotiated. There was, again, another tweet or post, I think, coming out of China that says that they're looking forward to finding some kind of agreement. Ongoing bill issuance increases, adding more liquidity via bank balance sheets and more market funds and stablecoin. Ongoing rate cuts will have economic weaknesses from the shutdown. That will add to the evidence that rates need to come lower, but no, there is no recession. The SLR changes free up more of the bank's balance sheets, allowing for credit expansion. The Clarity Act will get passed, giving the crypto regs so desperately needed for large-scale adoption by bank asset managers and business overall. This would have probably been done by now, but right now with the shutdown, it's being drug out. But they're still speculating this will be done before the end of the year. The big, beautiful bill then kicks in to goose the economy into midterms. The entire system is now being geared toward a strong economy and a strong market in 2026 for the elections. That's what I was just stating. That's what Raoul Pal is saying. This is what Jack Mallers was saying. Everybody that has this forward-looking kind of macro thesis is coming to the same conclusion, and it makes perfect sense. China will continue to expand its balance sheet. Japan will work to strengthen the yen and also fiscally stimulate. The ISM will rise as rates fall and tariff uncertainty drops away. You just need to get through the window of pain, and the liquidity flood lies ahead. Always remember the don't fuck this up rules. Wait out the volatility. Drawdowns like this are commonplace in bull markets, and their job is to test your faith. Buy the fucking dip if you can. When this number goes up, all numbers go up. This is the ISM I'm talking about here. Is this? Oh no, it's total liquidity. Total liquidity. But one of Jack's statements is markets will either scare you out or wear you out. And right now it's been trying to wear people out. Point is just boring people to death. But again, if you zoom out just one freaking year, you can see it on the chart when you go right here. We went up to 87K November 12th as of this date. Right before that, November 11th, we were sitting in the 70s. I guess I got to go first so you can see this for yourself. Look at that. November 4th. November 4th, 2024, 67K. And then November 11th, 88K. So we're still up 20% from last year, like as of right now. It may not feel like it, but again, if you have a long enough time horizon and amount, then you can make money in crypto. And if you go all the way back to freaking January of the same year, 2024, we're at 36K. Like, that's insane. I'm sorry, that's November 20, 2 years back. So just 2 years back, we're seeing at 36K. So we're up 3x in 2 years. Where else do you get those kind of gains? Obviously, you can be a degen and gamble into the other stuff in the crypto markets. But the point is, the money is there. And the only reason the fear and greed is where it's at is because people are just zoomed in to here from 125 to now. Like, well, you bought the top. Just wait another year or 2 years and you should be sitting pretty. And if your 2 years isn't enough, then give it 4 to 5 because on average, Bitcoin will definitely be going up. So I think it's going to actually be more exponential, honest. I'm kind of in the Samson Mao camp that is going to happen gradually and then suddenly. And right now, all central banks all over the world are scrambling. The debt is just out of control everywhere. And the only way to juice the economy is to print more. So it just becomes a debt spiral. And Bitcoin is the only global free market available that will sniff this out. And people are going to start moving their time and energy there. Again, my travels, I can see it in the actual economy and in the people here. Like, again, Venezuela, seeing all the migrants from Venezuela into Colombia to get jobs and stuff because their economy just collapsed and it's still unstable as of right now. Ecuador, their next door neighbor, dollar because Real and got the other one they had after the Real, but that shit the bed. So they went to the dollar. Now I'm in here in Peru. They use dollars and for larger purchases, and they use the bolivars for local like trade. It's kind of like Cambodia. So here it's 7,000 to 1. Cambodia was 4,000 to 1. Colombian pesos 4,000 to 1. So once it starts getting outside like the 10,000 range, they start leaning on the dollar. So that just shows you in a real environment that people's economic energy and wealth will flee to a stronger currency to save themselves. So you can see it moving to the dollar in these different countries I just mentioned. Well, what happens when you're on the dollar and the dollar starts shifting? Other currency out there, oh, people are going to go. So it's just kind of common sense. All right, that's all I got. Smash that HBO special, help brother out, like, subscribe, comment down below. And until next time, lift daily and achieve